everybody. Shlokas 59 to 63 discuss about Brahman as existence and space as Akasha. When the existence is with creative power, it is modified into many forms. Shloka 60 states that out of these many forms, the first evolute or manifestation is Akasha or space. Space is needed for any creation. So it is said that creation is an externality or separateness of space, implying that there is space that is separate and can accommodate objects. Vidyaranya Swamiji goes on to prove logically that space is separate from Atma. Creation is separate from Atma, the Sat. When we say space is, the isness of space is given by the Sat Adhishthanam. Pure existence, being the nature of Sat, does not have space as its Swabhava. The Eka Swabhavam of Atma is Sat Tattva. Akasha has two Swabhavas, existence and space, and this is what Shloka 61 says. This can be seen by our own experience in deep sleep. If something is seen as separate from Atma, it is an external object. In deep sleep, we experience our own existence without space. Existence is independent of space, whereas space is dependent on existence. Atma, the Sat, is separate from space. Atma lends Adhishthanam for space. Atma is immeasurable, space is measurable. Atma is without space. Akasha has space as its property. Shloka 62 explains about the pratidhvani or echo, which is also a guna of Akasha. This reverberation is not there in Atma. Divinity has no vibration. We experience a vibration because of air. However, all sounds are not heard by us, and Omkara comes from that sound. Atma has no property. Akasha has existence, which is borrowed, measurement, space, and pratidhvani as its properties. Shloka 63 explains how Maya is connected to this. Because of the power of creation, Maya creates Akasha or Vyoma Tattva. Maya Shakti makes Sat and Akasha identical or Abhinnam. Maya gives both real existence, substance, and property. Here, existence is the substance and space is the quality, the adjective. It is the object. Dharma is the quality of space. Dharmi is that which holds the quality or that which holds dharma. It is because of Maya that dharma and dharmi are seen as interchanged. It makes quality, space as a substance instead of existence. This is the superimposition of Akasha on Atma, and this is because of the reversal of dharma and dharmi. The mutual identity changes, and this creates an erroneous perception. The correct perception comes only with the right knowledge. This is further explained by stating that space is the subject and isness is the verb. This is done by Maya. Space exists and its existence is borrowed. Actually, existence belongs to Atma. Other than existence, no other qualities are there in Atma. Therefore, Atma cannot be space. Space cannot be Atma. Maya is capable of joining two things which cannot be joined at all. In short, existence is the first entity. Space is the second entity. The reversal causes the wrong perception and hence total confusion. Form and name are secondary compared to existence, but because of Maya, they become primary. In this way, Maya is a power that can superimpose, change things, and make real as unreal and unreal as real. Objective space is taken as subject because of Maya. This is the wrong knowledge. Ego has space, and this lends existence to ego as well. The important point is that Maya is the Shakti of Atma. When one understands this clearly, the rest of Pancadashi will be easier to comprehend. Shloka 64 says that ordinary people give satyatvam or reality to space. But even learned Tarkikas also believe that space is real. Brahman becomes Akasha, and the duration is also created in the mind. Because the mind makes the thoughts, they have a sequence or connection. Swamiji then discussed this deep and profound understanding of Maya and creation in relation with space and other things. Swamiji then concluded, telling us to do mananam on this. Hari Om.
Shrutismritipurananamalaya karunalayam namami bhagavatpadam Shankaram lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vante Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Namaste Shankarananda Guru Padam Bhujanmane Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Karmane Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sloka number 64. The last statement was Mayaya Uchitam Hitata. So here the Sat Atma, the existence become or appears to be Akasha. So all the even educated people, they know it Akasha as Sat, but they are not identifying Sat different from Akasha. So appearingly, Akasha and Sat are not different. So this is what Maya's superimposition. Maya Ujitam Hitat. Another important point we have noticed is the language and the thought formation of our mind. We know in our Shastras, it is well said that mind cannot reach or cannot know Brahman. In other words, mind has some limitation. Therefore, mind is unable to catch hold of Brahman in this sense. And the main reason that we can see from sloka number 63 is very important in this sense. Our whole mind is set to ignore the existence and cast the objects outside in different forms. So there we have mentioned dharma and dharmi. Again, we will discuss that in next slokas. So dharma and dharmi. So substance and the quality of the substance. So now, when we see something, some object, we are attracted to the quality of the object. Quality in the sense, the form of the object, the name of the object, and the usage of the object. So what we can get from that? Therefore, the dharmi, the actual substance, the existence is ignored. Therefore, we can say all our perception is erroneous perceptions. From the starting, when mind starts to think, it goes wrong. It is unable to get into the bottom of that, the foundation of that, where it gets the sense of some feeling, some sensation. So this is why after learning all this, we are not doing manana. If we do manana on each sloka is a direct Vedantic meditation. And it reveals a truth of the Vedantic philosophy. And in such cases, we can see why we are going wrong all the way, why we are always getting the dual erronic perception. So this is why here the 63rd sloka is mentioning about the subject and object relation. We already discussed. There I have given an analogy of space exists. When we say, now we are discussing about space, we will carry on with that. So space exists when we say. Now you can take any sentence and make the subject and predicate separate. So here when we say space exists, space is, you see how our thoughts are formed. Now the thought gives more importance to the subject there as space. Because subject is the main noun or pronoun, while the predicate tells us what is the subject is or what the subject does, what adjective subject has. All this is in the form of predicate. So here, when I say I am, like I say space exists, book is, I am, and all these forms, we give importance to the subject. But the second part, actually second part is the the main part of that. It is predicate, what we call as predicate as secondary. Now when we say space exists, without existence, we can't know space. Space cannot be come into discussion. It cannot appear in our minds without existence. Even a thought process cannot appear without existence. It must have an existence of something. So therefore, this subject predicate separation, which is important, if we see by linguistic connection, from that also we can go to the truth there. Why we took this? Because this is how we make thoughts. Thoughts are made like that. So therefore, we can say, as our Vedanta says, this whole world of creation is nothing but your thought. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandhamokshayoho. Mind alone the cause of bandha and moksha. So now, how it become bandha and moksha is because these erroneous perceptions, thoughts are made and we are into that. So we are unable to separate this. So this was the discussion. Now, along with that, here Acharya brings Vyoma, Akasha. Akasha is just the extension of the existence. It is, again, we can say, superimposition on pure existence. It has some qualities, some special qualities that we have counted those, because Akasha has a different name. It has the quality of space giving. It means accommodation. It can accommodate. This is how Akasha is known. And Akasha has measurement, the length and width of the measurement. And one more thing, that is revibration, echo in Akasha. So if we remove all this, if we say these are all relative qualities of Akasha, The relative qualities of Akasha superimposed on existence. Now, all this, one has to note down all these points, then contemplate on that with your ideas, with your knowledge of physics and other things, because this all subject is related to the our normal experience, which we are unable to analyze it. That's all. So ultimately, it takes us to the core existence of our own self, the ultimate cause of the creation. Therefore, the sentences now uttered by me by one, now again we are going to discuss even more there. You can just note down after that, then think about one by one, and each sentence you will get a new idea, new experience of the Vedantic understanding of Brahman and the existence there. So therefore, now when we talk about normal thought process, now this cannot be proved as right, correct thought process, because the perception of that, understanding of that thought process is basically wrong. This is how this, because we are into the form of subject. Now when we talk about space, I have to say the name space. If I am not uttering the word space, you are not going to get anything. You will not get along with me with ideas. So I cannot talk only about existence, because the pure existence in the form, there we can't make a thought process. So this thing we can understand from our own experience in deep sleep, where there is no space, no name, no measurement, nothing. So there we experience, now in Sushupti, in deep sleep, we can't say there is space. There is Akasha. There is no form of Akasha. There is no evidence that we can prove Akasha exists there. Now without Akasha, we are there. We infer that now there what we experience, it must be in some space. We can only infer. And for that also we have no clue, because for any kind of anumana or any kind of guessing, we need some clue. Then we can guess on that. We can do some guesswork on that. Even that is not available. So we are even unable to infer that there is space in Sushupti. So this is the understanding of the state where there is no creation. So before creation, before manifestation, only existence is there. So the Maya makes the superior existence as the posterior space. It means superior existence alone, and then some form, something happens, some manifestation, some change, in that is called space. So when we wake up from Sushupti, it takes little time to come into existence with the space, connection with the space. Even the space is the space was not there. Even with if you want to connect with the space to make the normal waking state, one has to bring the awareness of space. I think we have not noticed till today that when we wake up, where we sleep, in which room we sleep, even that awareness is made there. After that, when we wake up, the third moment or second moment, it comes up, it pops up. So the awareness comes, oh, I am sleeping in this room. So it means even that is reconnected. You are not carrying that, you are reconnected with the space. So this is another notable point, that your existence, my existence, is reconnected with the space when I wake up. So this reconnection shows before creation there cannot be any kind of space awareness. So even the space was not there. Therefore, the 64th shloka says, Maya uchitam hitata. So Maya is quite able to make all these superimpositions with the support for the convenience of the creation. Actually, Maya facilitate the creation transformation by bringing all this. So this is the point. Now the 65th shloka. Tadyatha vartate tasya tatha tvam bhadimanatah अन्यथा त्वं भ्रमेणेति न्यायोऽयं सार्वलौकिकः तद्यथा वर्तते तस्य तथा त्वं भादिमानतः. In common sense, we can say that tad yatha vartate tasya, the correct knowledge of or the sensory perception of an object, an ordinary perception, the normal perception. What we call it? Tathatvam bhadimanataha. If it appears correctly by some means of correct, right means, then we call it a right perception. When we see a book, and book is seen as book as per our understanding, And then the thought process is also like that. We know it, this is book. Then we say, oh, I know this book. So there the sensory no understanding, the sensory understanding is correct because we know book as book. So tad yatha vartade tasya tadhatvam bhati manat. This is the normal understanding. We say this is the correct understanding. Now, what is wrong understanding? What is delusion? Anyathatvam brahmena iti. By the result of delusion, that appears to be something else. So that delusion makes it appear differently. So this is the two things. One, the common sense in the ordinary process of sensation. We know the thing as it is by name, by its action. This is normal thing. And opposite of that, if there is something goes wrong, then the Brahma will come. Brahma, illusion or delusion will appear and it makes the things differently. So this is how we know it. Nyayoyam sarvalaukikaha. The Acharya says this nyaya, this experience, this logic is very ordinary. Sarvalaukikaha. All knows this. Evam shruti vicharat prak yatha yadvastu bhasate vicharena viparyeti tatas tatchintyatam viyat. Similarly, evam shruti vicharat prak. Shruti vicharat prak. Before the thorough analysis of Shruti. So before thorough going analysis of Shruti, yatha yadvastu bhasate, a thing appears to be quite different. Because before learning Vedanta, you see the creation as something else. And when you know little bit of Vedanta, some understanding of Vedanta, if you get, the creation will change. It will be different. So, evam shruti vicharat prak yatha yadvastu bhasate. Vicharena viparyeti. By thorough analysis, it can change. It can be something else. Tadas tatchintyadam viyat. Therefore, we have started this investigation, this discussion into what the Viyat is, what this space, what this creation is. Because we want to change our perception. In this normal perception, sensory knowledge, experiences, is not good for us. It is giving pain, giving all these problems. We want to solve it. So we want to change our perception. We want to change our view. We want to experience something else. So there the Vedanta starts. That is the space for Vedanta. The Shruti vicharat prak yatha vastu vasate vicharena viparyeti. After the investigation by Vedanta or through Vedanta, we get a different nature of our experience. The whole nature changes. So Brahman appears in front of us as our own experience. We can say that we experience Brahman every moment. There is nothing other than Brahman. So ultimately, we end into this experience. So there the discussion again continued with the Akasha's theory. Bhinne viyat sati shabda bhedat buddhischa bhedatah vayuadishvanuvrittam sat natu vyomedi bhedadhi. Bhinne viyat sati. It's like this different statements. The first statement is Viyat and Sati. Viyat means Akasha, Sat means Atma or existence. So it is said, now Akasha and existence are different. They are different. Bhinne Viyat Sati. Why? Now the reason, the second statement is reason. Shabda Bhedat. Shabda Bhedat. Why? The reason is there are two names. One is Akasha and the other is Sat Atma. Now there are two names. Therefore, the Viyat, the Akasha and existence should be separate. And again, yet another statement of that, the reasoning that Buddhescha Bhetataha. Not only names are different, but the ideas, that too is different. Buddhescha Bhetataha. The knowledge of both are different. So Viyat Sati Bhedat Buddhescha Bhetataha. So now, like we have seen how we can separate Akasha and Sat, and how Sat Atma, the existence, is ensued in all other objects, all other creation. It is concomitant with all other things. Now, what is this concomitance? It is said, Vayuadishu anuvrittam sat. Vayuadishu, this existence is ensued in Vayu, Akasha, Jala, and water, fire, earth, and all other element and elemental creations. So Vayuadishu anuvrittam. Now this is another type of meditation. It's if you concentrate and try to understand the meaning of the inner meaning of this shloka, your mind will be in meditative mood. There is no need to close eyes and sit in the posture of meditation. There is no posture is necessary. You can sit and concentrate and read these lines and just try to understand, try to dig out the meaning of the shloka. Then the mind is concentrated. This is how we meditate, the Vedantins meditation. So now, Vayu Adishu Anuvrittam. So when we breathe, just think that I am breathing the existence. The Vayu, the air we breathe, is with existence. That existence is me only. So I am breathing myself. Because without existence, Vayu cannot exist. If Vayu cannot exist, Vayu is not there, he can't breathe. So Brahman provides existence to air. That is Vayu Adishu Anuvrittam. So this is called Anuvritti, the Anuvritti meditation. So wherever you see an existence, any object outside our mental objects, try to see the Brahman there as the concomitant to all the objects. So Vayuvadi Shvanivrittam Sat Natu Vyomedi Bhedati. That Brahman, which is Anuvritta, which is ensued, concomitant to all the elements, is not Vyoma, is not space. So, Natu Vyoma edi Bhedatihi. This is how we separate it. Now, we already know the qualities of Vyoma. We have enumerated that qualities, those qualities. Their Nama, name, Avakasha, space giving, and Pradidhvani, echo, and Mana, measurement. I am just telling you the Sanskrit names also. If you want to note down, you can note down, because we don't have to always take the English translation, because sometimes English translation is not completely giving the correct meaning. Even for the Avakasha, we can say only space giving or accommodation or something like that. But Avakasha has more meaning into that. So Nama, Avakasha, Pradidhvani, revibration, Mana, measurement, the measuring the length, and then Sat, plus Sat is called, Sat is existence, equal to Akasha. So among all these qualities, if we remove Sat, so without Sat, there is no Nama. Without Sat, there is no Avakasha. Without Sat, there is no Pradidhvani. Without Sat, you can't measure anything. There is no Mana. So this is how Akasha and these are separated. The next sloka. Sadvastwadhika vrittitva dharmi vyomnastu dharmata dhiya sada prithakare ruhi vyoma kimatmakam. Now, our respected Acharya Vidyaranya Mahasvami is asking you, what do you understand by this? Did you meditate on this? If you have meditated, then you will clearly, if you have meditated, you will understand that there is no Vyoma in me. No Vyoma, no Akasha in me. If I separate my existence, if I separate Atmas as existence, Brahman as existence, what remains for Akasha? So, Bruhi Vyoma Kimatmakam. Then the Akasha, what nature of Akasha? What kind of Akasha you can see there? So, there is no Akasha. So this become a nirvikalpa samadhi there. Because without Akasha, you can't see anything, you can't experience anything. There is no object. So this is the process. Sadvastu adhika vrittitvat dharmi vyomnastu dharmata. Again the dharmi and dharma comes, separating subject and predicate. Subject and quality. Or we can say substance and its qualities, attributions. So sadvastu adhika vrittitva. This sadvastu, sat is being more pervasive. Adhika vrittitva. When you compare to Akasha, space, Sad is more pervasive. Therefore, Sadvastu adhika vrittitva. Now, even in our experience, we can see when we are in waking state, we have the awareness of space. So we have space there. Okay, even in a dream state, we are seeing some objects there. There also we can just take as as there also some space is there, because objects are seen there. So without space, there cannot be any we cannot see any object there. So let space be there. But in Sushupti, there is no space, but the Sat is there. So out of 3 states, only 2 states, the space, but the 3rd state is without space. So now this is how we calculate, how we compare. It is more pervasive, if more permanent than space, and is more extensive than space. Space is only existing in 2 states, but existence is existing in 3 states. So therefore, it is in comparison with the space, Sat is more pervasive. Sad vastu adhika vrittitva. Therefore, it is dharmi. Therefore, it is important. It should be considered as dharmi, substance. Substance which exists prior to the manifestation. When we say dharmi here, which can hold many qualities on which we can attribute many things. Qualities and actions and all of those. But here especially, dharmi means which exist before creation, before manifestation, on which the dharmas are added. The qualities are added there. So dharma, qualities of substance, it is subsequent manifestation. So here we can say existence is prior to manifestation, and the dharmas are subsequent manifestation. Which is manifestation after it comes, the difference comes. So here the dharma and dharmi. Now we apply on us and see what are our dharmas and who is dharmi. You meditate on this. Which are my dharmas? Which are my attributions? Which are my manifestation. So you can see the Jagrata Avastha, the waking state, and the Swapna Avastha, the dream state. Both these states are mere attribution on you. You are in that state, that is the state of dharmi, the substratum, the substance of these attributions. So this is how we can do. Now what he says, Acharya says, Dhiya Sata Pritakkare. Now he says, when by knowing this Vedantic thoughts, getting these thoughts, when you penetrate your reasoning, your intellect, you meditate on Dhiya Satah Pritakkare. Dhiya, by your intellectual knowledge, intellectual understanding, when you apply that, Dhiya Satah Pritakkare. So Pritakkare, for what you have applied it? To make Sat different from Akash. That is what you are doing. This is the meditation. So you try to do this meditation. It's very easy. Find the qualities of Akasha and try to understand the existence and separate Akasha and its manifestations and be Sat there. So this is an intellectual process what we can do. Dhiya Sataha Pritakkare Bruhi Vyoma Kimatmakam. If you can separate this, doing this exercise, doing this meditation, penetrating intellect into this, if you can do that, definitely you will experience that is Vyoma, this Akasha has no existence other than me. I am the existence giver. I am extending my existence to Akasha. Akasha is my own extension. This is how the Vedanta, the Brahmakara Vritti. So feeling that whole creation is my own existence, my own extension of existence. So if we remove that extension, we withdraw that extension, then Akasha reduce into nothing. So Akasha become non-existence. Yeah, so this is how we analyzed it. Now the next sloka, avakashatmakam tatchet asat tadidi chintyatam bhinnam sado asatneti vakshiched vyahadistava. Now avakashatmakam tatchet. Some people say, no, how can you say when you separate existence from space, space has no existence, it becomes non-existence? How can you say that? Because we have given a quality that is called avakashatmakam. Akasha, what is Akasha? Akasha is space giving. Akasha is accommodative. Accommodative. That is the definition of Akasha. When we say what is Akasha, what is space, we have to say space is space giving or space is accommodative? So that is what we can say. That is the definition of space. Correct? Now, if the Sat, the existence is separated from this, now suppose there is no existence, the Sat is not there, can the Akasha become accommodative? No. If existence is not there, nothing can be like that, nothing can accommodate, no, nothing is existing, then what is going to accommodate? So this avakasha, what we call, okay, this is it is a special quality of akasha we have given, that is true, but avakasham avakashatmakam tacheta asat tadidi chindyatam. But when we separate from existence, even this avakasha is nothing. There is nothing. It is non-existence. So, asat tadidi chintyata. You know that there is no akasha like that. Okay, if you say Bhinnam sado asatcha naiti vakshi chet. But if somebody argue like this, okay, we don't say that Bhinnam sat. Though the akasha is different from sat, but it still exists. It is not non-existence. The sentence is akasha is different from sat. Sataha bhinnam. Akasha is different from sat. Still, it is not non-existence. Can we say this? No. Akasha is different from sat. Sat means existence. And still it is non-existence. Cannot say. Because we are trying to do this. Though we know everything is Brahman, everything is one, everything is God, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, everywhere the God is there, only God exists. But somehow we are trying to keep our empirical experiences by saying, no, even though Brahman is everywhere, but we have to do our work, we have to do this, we have to do that. This is all necessary, we can't avoid. If we avoid it, what would happen to the, what would happen to the earth? What would happen to the society? What would happen to the family? So everything will be gone. Therefore, let the Brahman be there. Okay, Brahman is everywhere, everything is okay. But I have to do all these things. So this is what the argument here he says. No, I agree with you that Brahman is separate from Akasha. I agree with you. Still, the Akasha is not non-existence. This is self-contradictory. This is self-contradictory of the sentence-wise. It is contradictory. Therefore, it cannot be said like that. And now, if you want to separate Sad existence from anything, you have to say that object which is separated from existence is completely non-existence. The reason is Sat is an invariable concomitant of an object. It cannot be separated. It is called anisyudam. Anisyudam means ensues, which ensues to one and another, which connects things. That is the word. Another word we can say connected. The the connected. It is always connected. Like a chain of connections. Shrinkala. So if it internally connected, we say Andaryami. It is all the objects are internally connected. Sutratma. It's like a thread connecting the flowers in garland. If you take a garland, there are many flowers, but the thread inside is connecting all those. When we see from outside, all the flowers are separate, but inside the thread is connecting those flowers. Similarly, the existence is concomitant of all the objects connecting with each other. It cannot be avoided. It cannot be separated. Therefore, it is invariable, inseparable. It cannot be separated. So therefore, when we talk about something other than existence, it's like non-existence. There is no existence of that. Bhadi chet bhatu nama bhushanam maikasya tat yat asad bhasamanam tan mithya swapna gajadivat. Again, the person is arguing this. No, it is not like that. Your separation is made by your mind, intellect. So whatever you say, you are playing with words, playing with the intellectual thoughts. It's like an intellectual play. You say this, you are separating this, you are separating that. No, separating existence. No, there is no space, non-existence. All this is all. No, it's like confusing others by making all these sentences so difficult. So really, it's not like that. No, he's arguing. Bhati iti chet. After all your arguments, I say, in my experience, Akasha exists. Akasha is there. It is perceived because I see Akasha, I experience Akasha. How can you say Akasha is different from existence, and when the existence is separate, there is no Akasha? So bhati iti chet. Bhati means it is known, it is experienced, it is perceived. Then Acharya says, as the answer to reply to this, Bhatu nama. Oh, let it be there. Why you are worried about? We are not denying that. So we are separating something which you experience. We never deny your experience because the experience is Atma. If you are experiencing Akasha, yes, right, you are experiencing it, right? There is no confusion. Or let it be there. So Bhushanam Maikasya Tate. Bhatu Nama, let it be there is no problem. It is for us, it is Bhushanam Maikasya Tate. No, it is glory to Maya. Bhushanam means it is glory. It is it is an ornament to Maya. So Maya is wearing this ornament. How it can it can prove, or you can experience that something is not there. The object which is not there is experienced, then it means that is called Maya. So this is a very it's a glory to Maya. It is glory of Maya that even that appearance is experienced. Even the appearance is experienced and you feel it real. Thereby, when you watch movies, there are only appearance. That is this all light and shade. But even that appearance, by feelings, your emotions are provoked, and your intellect and mind, everything is so active that you laugh sometime, you cry sometime, you feel other emotions too. No? So how you see, even that appearance can penetrate your moods, your change. It can change your moods. Even a music, it's a loud sound, can change your mood. So this is the beauty of Maya. So it can do all this. So let it be. So if you are experiencing the space, you experience it. We have no problem. We are only saying the experiencing, existing of space has no existence other than Brahman. That's all. Other than Atma. So we are not against the experience what you are having, the empirical experience. Let it be there. It is a phenomenon that you always have this. Even with the Vedantic knowledge, you are unable to avoid this phenomenon. That is the beauty of Maya. So, yet asad bhasamanam, that is what he says. Yet asat, what is not there, it is only an appearance. It seems to be there. That is called mithya. That's called mithya, non-existence. It says a mithya, apparently true, but it is untrue. Jag swapna jagajadivat, like you see, just as you see an elephant in your dream. You see it, experience it, everything is there, but the elephant is not different from you. So that is why it is like this. Jadi vyakti deha deho gunadravye yatha prithak viyat satos tathevastu parthakyam kotra vismayaha. So now Vidyaranya Mahaswamiji is connecting all other things with the same argument. Jadi Vyakti. As you know, there is a separation, there is distinction between a jati and Vyakti, species and specimen. So we both are different. So jati and bhakti. Jadi is like class and Vyakti is the species of that class. So Jadi Vyakti, Deha Dehi. Deha and Dehi. Deha is body and Dehi is the embodied person, the person embodied. So Deha and Dehi, body and embodied. Guna and Dravya. Guna and Dravya. Guna means quality and Dravya means substance. The substance which is endowed with quality. It's called Guna Dravya. Yatha Prithak. Now you know all this. These are actually, they are not different. Like Manushya and Manushyatva. Human being and humanity is not different. And Deha and Dehi, you cannot separate the body and the embodied jiva. Because if there is no body, there cannot be a person embodied. There cannot be embodied person. And guna and dravya, the red color of a red flower cannot be separated. If you separate the color, if the color is separated, it is gone. Then it is no more a red flower. So the red flower cannot be separated from that red color, but we know the red flower is different from red color, because red is a color and the object is a flower. So both are different, substance and quality. Now, how we separate this? If we can separate this, if we separately, actually, if we are separately understanding this, then he is asking, then what is the difficulty for you? We can separate Vyada and Sat. We can separate Akasha and existence. This is how we separate it. Tadhevastu Parthakyam. Otra Vismayaha. Then what is something special? What is wonder here? Why you are taking so much trouble and you are not accepting it? If you can separate all this, Jadi and Vyakti cannot be separated, but we separate it. We count each Vyakti, each person is member of that class. So it is like, it is, no, each specimen has many species. This is the theory we learn. So the specimen is one and species are many. Then what does it mean? The specimen is different from species, right? We have to accept that. Similarly, the Akasha is different from Atma, though Akasha cannot stay without Atma. But we can differentiate by intellectual exercise. So, Vyat Satoho Tathaivastu Parthakyam. Parthakyam means distinction, separation. Kotra Vismayaha. What is something special here? It is a normal thing. You are all doing this for many years. Did you understand all this? Or you separate all this? No. You use different names, guna, dravya, and no, this and that. You know all this, but you are unable to separate. Then the next arguments, the last arguments, he says, no, you see, for many years I am trying to understand this intellectually, but unfortunately I am unable to understand. So let me please show some way to understand. That is what the person who is arguing, no, the opponent asked Acharya. Now he is saying the last statement of this discussion. Buddho vibhedo no chette nirudhim yadi chettada anegagrya samshayadva rudhya bhavosyate vada. He is like, no, with more compassion and love, Acharya says, if you think Buddho vibhedo na ched, though I learned physics, I learned chemistry, I learned Vedanta, I know all this, that Akasha, the space is separate and the Atma, consciousness is separate and everything is separate. I know all this, But Buddha api Vedo no chit. But even then I am utterly unable to separate this. Vedo nachit. And why the reason is te nirudhim yadi chit. I am not convinced with this. Though I know this, but I am not convinced with this. If people say the water is made of H2O, we know it, we accept it. But if we ask ourselves, are we convinced with that? No, you cannot say that, because water is something different from the air. We have to accept it, that's all. So this is the same thing he is saying. I know it from Vedanta because you are teaching Vedanta for a long time. I know it. So, but I am not convinced. So, nirudhim yati chet tatha. It is not went into, no, it is not accepted by my inner mind. The outer mind is accepting it, but inner mind says, oh, this is all for discussion. This is all for the sake of discussion. People say they are playing with all these Vedantis. They are playing with words. They are playing with sentences. And no, they are talking all this. We don't know. We are not convinced. They are, these Vedantins are unable to make people convinced. So therefore, it is not, not accepted. You see, even in those days, in Vidyaranya Mahaswamiji's days, this was the condition. Now you see how much trouble he has taken to make you convince, make you understand how the Akasha, existence, these are separate, and how you are identifying with that, how you are making it as superimposed as one. What is the role of Maya? What is role of the Akasha's other attributions? Now you see how much he has brought into light. It is impossible. Now nobody can do this, because he is so much carrying the love for the others. He is so much feeling, so much compassionate for the jijnasus of Vedanta. He wants to just prove it, thoroughly prove it, that you will not discuss and doubt anymore on this. So then he says, after saying all this, even though you are not convinced, then what is the problem with you? I will tell you. Okay. Anekagriyat. You have lack of concentration. Anekagriyat. You have some concentration problem. Or samshayadva. Or you have unwanted doubts. You have a tendency of doubting things. You always doubt on things. So he says only two reasons I see. So anekagriyat, either you have concentration problem, you have lack of concentration, you are unable to conceive the idea when it is conveyed. Now this is important. When the idea is conveyed, one has to conceive it, receive it, accept it. So in that spot, it is not accepted, then it may not, it may change after some time. So when the idea is conveyed spontaneously, one has to understand. If that is not happening, then you have to meditate on, continuously mananam. So then afterwards it may come. So this is anekagriyat. The mind is not completely applied. Mind is tired, mind is weak, or full of doubts. The second reason is either you have concentration problem, or you have doubts. So, samshayadva rudhya bhavo asya devata. Therefore, I say you are no unable to rudhya bhava. Rudhya bhava means you are unable to conclude. You are you are unable to receive it or make a conclusion of this. So try to meditate on this by concentrated mind, removing all the doubts and make a convinced conclusion. Okay. So with that, we conclude here today's session. We have completed the 72 sloka. So you want to ask something, you can ask.
Swamiji, there's a question on the chat from Shri Vishnu.
Please read it out.
From Shri Vishnu Prasad. Om, in Shloka 62, Pratidhvani is mentioned as a swabhava of Akasha. It was mentioned that it happens due to the reflection through prana, which is possible only after Vayu element is created. If the quality of touch is not yet created, how does Akasha reverberate or produce the vibration? What is inherent in Akasha to produce the reverberation? Also, in Shloka 68, why is it mentioned Akasha is not present in Vayu, Agni, etc., since all of them seemingly have avakasha of a certain space?
Yeah, the first question, why the vibration, how the vibration is there in Akasha. Here, the idea is where the sound is produced, that we can say sound is produced with the friction of air. So now, where the air exists, because air has no sound producing quality, air has to be in somewhere where the some vacuum, some emptiness. So in that emptiness is mentioned here as pradidhvani. So we know this sound travels through air by the support of air, but doesn't mean air is producing the sound. Air is medium for transformation and transporting the sound. So this is how it goes. We know this. Here only that mentioning is like the echo when we say inside of a room or anywhere where the vacuum, the emptiness is there, then the sound is produced indifferently. Where the objects are there, then the sound is different. Like in a hall, the many hall in India, the halls have the conference halls and other halls have this echo problem. No, when something is produced, it revibrates. So the making of that hall is because of the vacuum place. If you open it, more air or for more passing out the air, then the echo doesn't appear. So this is another idea that we can grasp it in with this. is not we are denying that air is there for the supporting. We have no argument like that. The point is this sound and the echo of the sound is produced in empty place, emptiness. That's the idea here. And the second question about 68, no?
Yes, Swamiji. 68. Why is it mentioned Akasha is not present in Vayu, Agni, etc., since all of them seemingly have avakasha of a certain space?
No. You see, this is like just a formula. Now, I have shown that formula before. What is Akasha? Akasha is name plus accommodation plus measurement plus existence plus this. All this I have shown that. So, this name Akasha cannot be carried by Vayu or other things. Okay? Vayu, Agni, Prithvi or anything. Because name is Akasha's individual mind. Now the second part is accommodation. Accommodative, say space giving. And space giving character is all cannot be carried to air, cannot be carried to fire, cannot be carried to water, cannot be carried to earth. Okay. It means it cannot come there. This is because they have their own individual qualities. So they are not borrowing Akasha's quality for them.
Okay.
The space giving. Now, okay, with measurement is okay. Measurement, we can take it in another way also. But measurement here, it means emptiness. So because when we measure a room, we measure the emptiness of the room, the space inside the room. That is the idea here. We are not measuring the air there or anything else. So these, the special qualities of Akasha cannot be carried or it is not ensued to other objects. Okay. I think you are clear with this. Now, other than these qualities, there is something that is called existence of Akasha. So, name plus accommodation plus all this plus existence. Now, this existence quality, which is not Akasha's own quality, if we call it as quality, actually it is not quality, but we call it as a quality for the sake of our understanding now. So this existence is carried, ensued throughout air, fire, water, and other objects of earth and other objects. So the existence is carried out. Therefore, in this sense, we say Akasha is not the substratum of others. This is the one. The normal understanding, what you said is absolutely correct. The normal understanding is, as we learn in physics, because in physics, we are not giving any point to existence. We have no discussion about existence as per I know the physics. They are not discussing about the existence. They are starting from space only. So space is the space for everything. Okay. In that case, that is different. That case, this is a normal understanding that everything is based, all the manifestations are based on space. So space is accommodating all other manifestations. Because in physics, we start from space. We are not starting from the existence. So that is the difference. So here we get even more clarity into the connection with space and existence. Okay? Yeah.
Swamiji, there's
I
a
can
question.
take one more question and conclude.
There's a question from Shri Arun Babu.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Hari Om. In the last few slokas, we have been discussing two terms.
Sloka, which sloka?
In the generally, we were discussing about dharmi
Okay.
and dharma, right? Two terms.
Dharmiyam karma.
No, not karma, dharma and dharmi.
Dharma and dharmi, yes.
Yeah, so dharma is more of like the quality themselves, whereas dharmi more relates to the embodiment of quality or the Bhagavan itself. Basically, it is represented as a persistent entity, whereas dharma is a transient occurrence, right? So in that understanding, can we call the dharmi is the Brahman itself, or is it coming somewhere in between?
Correct. Here, I repeated, I think I repeated 2-3 times. Here, the dharmi is pure existence as Brahman before creation. Here, the dharmi is not just a dharmi, a substance which holds many manifestations, many qualities. Here, the dharmi is absolute dharmi. So, from where everything appears, in one which everything appears.
So then any reason why the term dharmi is used so far in other scriptures?
Because when we want to say about some qualities, regarding qualities, obviously we have to take this quality is based on this quality, this person has this quality, this thing has this quality. So when we talk about qualities, we talk about dharmas, subsequent manifestation. Therefore, I used this word. Now, that is why I said, no, when I use some different words, you have to be careful with that different word. Because I am trying to make it the point at most clear what I can. So when I talk about only qualities, your mind will hang around some qualities and good qualities, bad qualities, this, that, and color and these things. So therefore I changed the term. I said subsequent manifestation. The subsequent manifestation, when we say, it is posterior to the creation. So then the dharmi is prior to the creation. So there is no qualities mentioned there. So substance, that is the absolute substance, which is Brahman itself. So then these qualities are the formation of that. Or we don't say the formation, we can say the appearance on that. Though we use the word manifestation, we can say the manifestation after that. It comes like this. Therefore, that substance, the dharmi is invariable. That also is said. Dharmi is not variable, but these dharmas are variable. Okay. Thank you, Hari Om.
Hari Om, thank you.
Okay. So, thank you. And have a small announcement that as you know, we have an annual program of Padayatra. Every year we do. And this year also, by the blessings of Bhagavan, Ishwaras, and our Gurus, we are able to make it. So on 30th, maybe, no, next Friday, we are leaving for that Padayatra. So then we can have the next class on July 5th or something, the next Saturday. So all June month, you have holidays. holidays, no, summer vacation. So you have a summer vacation. So you meditate on this. Therefore, I brought up to this point to 72nd sloka, because the whole the discussion almost completed here. Now then, Acharya also said, why you are unable to catch this, or why you are unable to understand this. The reason is you are not convinced. So from my part, I tried my best to make you convinced. And now from your part, you have to do some meditation, contemplation, study, reviews, and you can make, actually you can have a group discussion. So on this other 3 Sundays, you will get 3 Saturdays. Yeah. At least 3 Saturdays. So you can join, whoever want to join. So each of no, our students, any they can write their own ideas on these slokas, especially on the Akasha and the existence Sat. And you can no, each one can say about it, and then you can have a discussion. And after this discussion, whatever comes out, you note it down and let me also know when I come back. Okay. So this can be a golden opportunity for you to have your own group discussion in that sense. So meanwhile, you can do more meditation on each slokas. Now, how you meditate on like dharma and dharmi. We have so many points to meditate. And what is the difference of akasha and sat and avakasha? So where there is space, where there is no space, all this you can do practice. Okay. So thank
To
you.
which place are you
Thank you.
going, Swamiji? Padayatra?
Excuse me?
To which place are you going this time? Padayatra?
Yeah, actually, no, we have a long yatra. We are going to Pancaketars. You know one Ketar? There are 4 other Ketars plus 7 Badaris. So you know one Badari, famous Badari?
Yeah.
There are 6 more Badaris.
Okay.
So Pancha Kedar, 5 Kedars plus 7 Badaris, where Shankaracharya Swamiji went, or he only established, renovated all these temples and made all these pujas system there. So this time we are doing a small documentary like thing, a study tour. It's like a study tour. Some of our young volunteers, young brahmacharis, they are also joining us, and we go to those places and we'll try to find what are the proof, what are the archaeological evidence we get from there in reference with Shankaracharya's establishing that place and things. Okay. So this is a like thing. So yeah, that is what we are going to do. But here now the problem is now the weather changed. We are getting the monsoon early, like 15 days early. So every day we have rain and problems. So you can pray that we don't get much rain on the way.
Sure, Swamiji.
Anyway, we are prepared for anything. So we have decided, and now we are going. If everything goes well, again we meet. Okay? Okay.
Swamiji, whatever possible, can you please send videos then and there itself? At least we cannot go there, but we can enjoy.
Swamiji, that you are safe.
Yeah,
sorry that I cannot guarantee it, but wherever is possible, I will make sure that you will get some glimpses, some photos, some. Okay.
Uttamam Swamiji. Dhanyavada.
Okay. Hari Om. Thank you.
Yeah.
Om Purnamataha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.